Welcome back to Questionable Logic. And in today's video, I'll be reacting to the Winter Anime 2021 in a nutshell by Gigguk. So just a disclaimer, the original video was a bit long, so, just to get down to the point, I've, skipped quite a bit of it. So if you'd like to see the full video, the link is in the description. Credits to Gigguk, obviously, because that's his video. So, at long last, he's finally cast his vote as to, which winter anime of 2021 was like, he greatly liked or greatly disliked.
POV, you're an anime fan in 2020. Well, I'm deep in lockdown, but the season's pretty dry. I mean, I'm gonna be watching Kaguya, I guess I'll watch Tower of Gods, but there isn't really anything else that catches my interest. Oh well. POV, you're an anime fan in 2021. What the hell? How is this season so stacked? Attack on Titan? ReZero again? Look at all these sequels, look at all these other shows. How the hell am I gonna find time to watch all this? Oh well. What the fuck is going on with this season? Where do I even begin? My 2020 Anime of the Year ReZero is finally back to complete its arc. Promised Neverland is returning with more toddlers playing 5D chess. Beastars egging me on to convert to furryism. Slime 2 is hype, so is Log Horizon 3, so is Eurocamp 2, so is 7 Deadly... So is Cells at Work 2, Quince 2, Non-on-Bureau 2, and on top of all of this, we have Attack on Titan final season meeting every high expectation we had and punching straight past them. Fuck everything I said about modern anime classics, we are watching a classic being made right in front of our eyes. And I'm not going to be talking about any of those, because on top of all of this, we still have the non-sequel shows which by themselves are enough to match any of the seasons from last year. This might be one of the most single-packed season of anime in the history of anime. Is this actually it? Is this where the 2021 redemption arc finally begins?
Hands down, that was a great intro for a video. But the fact that you're not even going to mention, the hypest anime of 2021, it's a bit of a bummer because, when you're trying to make a valid argument, in any case, you should always mention, what's at the top of the pyramid and what's at the bottom of the pyramid. So, that's one thing I disagree with.
Years ago, we gave you Berserk 2016. 4 years ago, we gave you Berserk 2017. Today, I present to you Berserk 2077. I think we found it, guys. We found the best animated show of 2021. Apparently, this is an anime coming from a real studio with staff members who've never worked on a single anime before. I'm absolutely shocked. I don't think I'm overstating it when I say that X-Arm may set a new standard of animation that will send ripples in the industry. Look at this 3D. I haven't seen 3D this clean since Gary's mod was released, which I'm guessing is what it was also animated in. The lip flaps have obviously been inspired by dubbed Kung Fu movies by how accurate they are. They even got my favorite 2000s rock band to do the opening, Slink 183, and on top of all of this, you may not even notice, but in some shots, if you look really carefully, you may see that some characters don't even inhabit the same dimension. I've seen a lot of people compare this to PS2 graphics, and I don't know why people would say something so insulting to PS2 graphics. I'd say this is far more reminiscent of Cyberpunk's stunning visuals, showcasing a futuristic setting and T-posing. The original trailer boldly said, and I quote, declaring war against all sci-fi series around the world, which, as bold as the claim may be, I think also technically constitutes this as a war crime. Remember this day, gentlemen, as we are witnessing history. This may actually set a new benchmark never before seen in anime. Generations from now, we'll be looking back and saying, remember that time when Attack on Titan Season 4 was airing? Was it really better than X-Arm?
I'll give you that one because, let's be honest, X-Arm is somehow worse than Berserk, 2017. From its trashy animation, it kind of makes Berserk's overall animation look like a masterpiece. If not, that, then I'd say probably top tier in that regard. And I always found it odd that they somehow managed to top, that low quality and make it even, you know, worse. So yeah, and you know, the whole how they got away with the plot, I mean, that's just a ripoff of Akira, you know, just the low budget edition. So
You know how sometimes the show is just so weird you have no idea how to describe it, so you're just grasping at straws, trying to find a point of comparison? I've seen people describe this as a hybrid of about 10 different anime directed by Satoshi Ikuhara Shinkai Ano Yuasa, which just makes it more confusing. And I think they're all missing the point. Because clearly, Wonder Egg is just the very first Strand type anime. So this yellow hooded girl has a casual conversation with a cicada before finding some egg, seeing a bunch of girls cosplaying hentai censorship, and then having a full-blown argument with some talking toilet paper. The egg then hatches into a girl, and at this point you're just thinking, damn. I want whatever she's on. But as the episode unfolds, you start to get a hint of what this is actually about. We're peering into a glimpse of a damaged, broken psyche, and it's up to us to piece together what really happened. What is this world? What happened to her? Why did her friend jump? It's a cerebral tale of bullying and depression, and out of everything in Winter, this was the one that etched its way deepest into me. I'm not gonna pretend I understood what I watched, but what I will say is that it was the only show I kept thinking about afterwards, and I don't exactly understand why. I had that slight feeling that I was watching something that could blossom into something really special. I still don't know what this is gonna be about, but I'm definitely gonna stick around to find out if it'll be better than EXO.
yeah. So I haven't really watched that one, but it does seem interesting. So you know, if you've watched that one or any other like winter anime of 2021 so far, you know, post it in the comment section and like tell me one of the main reasons why you thought it was good, and if you'd recommend it or not.
堀さんはどんなのが好きなの？
私は流行りの曲がわからない。アニソンは完璧に歌えるのに。
I'm in this picture and I don't like it. I'd like to think for the most part that the anime and manga community are one and the same, but sometimes there comes along a title that just makes me think that manga readers live on a different plane of existence. Horimiya was a highly anticipated manga adaptation that I've never heard anyone mention or talk about prior. So when all the manga readers scurried out of their rocks to exclaim their excitement, I thought it must have a big cult following or something. So I check it out and... it's the 13th most popular manga of all time on Mao. What? From the trailer, I thought it was just going to be a serious love triangle romance drama on the likes of Toradora, but honestly, this is just wholesome as fuck. A rom-com about looking past appearances and never judging a book by its cover. For example, he may look like a straight-edge nerdy student who follows the rules when really he's a secret bad boy with tattoos and piercings. And also, he's fucking hot. And she may look like the pretty, popular girl in school, but nobody knows her little secret that will change the way everyone looks at her. She's a good sister who does chores at home. And she wears her hair in a bun!
So, I agree with you for the most part on that topic, but, you know, I disagree with how, you know, you just use two defining traits to, you know, briefly describe, you know, Horiyama as, you know, just having two traits for the entire show. Whereas, you know, people who've read the manga, and obviously, you know, some people who've watched the anime, have taken in their own unique understanding that it's not just, you know, two main characters, it's everyone else around them. So, you know, you can get a different variety of, like, you know, explanations of what the show is. So you can't just define it by two traits.
If that's not gamer enough for you though, we've got bottom tier character Tomozaki, following the top rated player in Definitely Not Smash Bros for all you real gamers out there. A true gaming anime about a gamer who's really good at gaming, meeting a gamer girl as they become gamer friends as she teaches him how to win at the biggest game of all, the game of life. Gamers. And so starts his training arc as he learns that to be a true pro gamer who wins at everything, he first needs to learn how to lose. His virginity. As someone who had zero social skills growing up, this was actually really interesting to me. It's a romantic comedy that breaks down social interactions and gamifies them, and it's a fun watch if you don't take the concepts too seriously. It's a pro gamer learning how to function in society, with a cute anime girl teaching him social skills, personal hygiene, and grooming. Yes, that's right folks. This is literally the uplifting story of a Smash player discovering deodorant. You know, I feel sorry for any volleyball anime coming straight off the heels of Haikyuu, especially when it's about the bromance of an ace duo starring a genius setter who got pushed out of his previous team because of a bad attitude, because Well, it's coming straight off the heels of Haikyuu. Don't think the Haikyuu squad are worrying too much about bullying, depression, and suicide, so if you're looking for a darker edition, definitely keep an eye out for this one. We've got the Cells at Work spin-off, Cells at Work.
Oh my god, I'm black.
I actually enjoyed this more than the original. It was way more interesting to see cells function in an unhealthy body, even if it did make me feel shit in my own lifestyle choices. On the upside though, apparently that means having a white blood cells that gets my cells at work, if you know what I'm saying.
So, well, yeah, good one on that. But, you know, Cells at Work, Black is kind of like underrated, I'd say, anime, because, you know, the big titles, so it's somewhat in the background right now, so I think, in my opinion, it's kind of been produced at the wrong time, because, you know, it's not as relevant as it would be if it was produced in a time when there wasn't, like, you know, bigger sequels or bigger, you know, competitors out there. So, you know, put your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think it's, you know, underhyped, or, you know, do you think it's got too much attention going for it? So, moving on.
Oh look, it's basically Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, except the guy is actually picking up some girl.
Agreed, but, you know, at least Danmachi had a plot, whereas, you know, this one is just basically isekai hentai. So.
The Goblin Slayer that everyone got super upset and offended over. Have you ever looked at that and thought to yourself, like, what if we made an entire show around that one scene, but just 10 times worse? If you ever needed a reminder that we live in a post-interspecies review as Japan, remember that a real human being was successfully convinced to give Redo of Healer an anime adaptation. The recent ecchi has been edging its way closer and closer to hentai interspecies reviews is right on the line. Redo of the Healer is somewhere here. There is no line anymore. It's been fucking obliterated. Episode 2 was just a hentai complete with everyone's favourite messed up tags. The show is literally one ugly bastard away from being a fuck release. There is no pixelated dick, but I don't think that's helping it much. I think this is the first time I've watched an anime and thought to myself I should probably chill out to something more vanilla after this. How about a bit of rants, isekai harem monogatari perhaps, maybe even something wholesome like Berserk for some light reading. It's beyond edgy, it's everything people got upset about in Goblin Slayer and Shield Hero multiplied to tenfold. It is the prime target to cause an absolute shitstorm online, except this time I don't think anyone's gonna be defending it, so all I can say is, thank God Twitter thinks Attack on Titan CG is more offensive.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on this one. You know, this is just really disgusting in the sense that, you know, people who usually watch this type of genre, you know, don't really expect to find something just like this nasty, or as inverse as, you know, this level, maybe. I mean, you know, Goblin Slayer, the first one, couple of episodes, well, the first episode was just like, you know, heavily criticized for, you know, doing similar-ish things. So, you know, I mean, if it takes to way beyond that, I mean, you know, it's just gonna be a weird fan base, and it'll probably just be negative, to be honest. I mean, I don't see any positive. It's more like toxic from that type of thing. So yeah, good going on that.
Mushoku Tensei's light novel is touted as the grandfather of modern isekai and one of the greatest the genre has to offer. So, as the seasoned isekai trash man, my expectations were high coming into this, and it somehow met every one of them. It's obvious right from the get-go that this was not influenced by the cliches of other isekai, but is in fact the progenitor of them. They're not just speedrunning, the death and reincarnation. Proper time is put into his life growing up and learning about this fantasy world instead of just assuming we know the ropes already. But because of this, there's a level of detail in the world building and magic systems that aren't present or are just glossed over in other isekai. The magic system isn't just control water because this is a fantasy world, there's an actual logic and structure behind it. The protagonist is an antisocial otaku, but that doesn't mean he was an otaku who happened to be good-looking, athletic, and just perfectly built to become a hero. He was a fat, stinky, ugly bastard who literally gets introduced jacking it off to hentai. He's the ugly truth of what the usual isekai protagonist should have been. He's flawed, he's hella horny, he's been bullied, he's been traumatized, and this doesn't all just magically disappear because he's been reincarnated into a fantasy world. He doesn't just feel like a typical vehicle for a wish fulfillment protagonist, but an actual character. So even though we are treading on concepts we've seen in so many other isekai before, it somehow feels fresh. Watching this felt like watching The Godfather after years of only watching Gangster Squad. After seeing generations of these concepts being watered down and turned into tropes and cliches, it was surreal to see the actual foundations they were all originally based on. This isn't even mentioning the insane production values that went into this. From the soundtrack to the animation, it can at times feel like a feature film production, and it's probably the best looking anime airing this season. So what is presented here feels like an anomaly. This is an isekai that's reminiscent of all the generic trash isekai I've gorged myself in over the years, but just genuinely feels like a good show without any twists or gimmicks in the formula. Guys, maybe this is the isekai we've been waiting for. How long has it been? How long have those of us in the isekai garbage dump been persecuted, ridiculed, mocked for having trash taste? Just another basic bitch craving a cheap, escapist, power fantasy show with yet another bland protagonist only there for our wish fulfillment. But no more, my brothers. The winds are changing. Times are changing. Here, we could have a show, a good show, that can prove to people that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't so bad after all. Maybe there was potential to be seen that no one else could see, underneath the 100th overpowered protagonist in the 100th fantasy world copying the 100th RPG. Maybe Isekai was never meant to be trash. Maybe it was meant to be beautiful.
This particular anime is great, you know, I really enjoyed its pacing and just how, like, it refreshes, you know, as he said, you know, compared to the other isekai anime that you always see. You know, it has, you know, its own unique traits and unique characters that are somewhat, you know, being forgotten about because of, like, how mainstream, like, all the other aspects that, you know, every single other one has ever had is included. And, you know, the pacing is just enjoyable because, you know, it's nice and slow. It gives it, you know, as he mentioned, you know, proper, you know, ways of showing how each character develops. And so, you know, I mean, the animation is another thing. I mean, it's particularly stunning. So, you know, definitely go and watch it for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Have a great day. Bye bye.